Alright, are you guys interested in finding out if the flip style shelters are worth it? Today I'm going to give you my thoughts and impressions on the Clam Nanook flip over shelter. Stay tuned. Alright, this is my review of the Clam Nanook ice shelter. It's a two-person shelter with built-in seats. It's a flip-over type shelter. You, I don't know if you can see that there. You extend these poles out and then flip it over. It seems to work really well. I'll show you guys what it looks like set up. And there you guys have it. It sets up just that easy. I'll take a second here to go inside and show you some of the features I really like. It has a zipper door. It makes it easy to get in and out. One thing I really like is it has a nice large sled. I can fit all my gear in there without much problem. It's got two really nice padded seats on it. They're boat style seats. They're very comfortable. They slide forward, back, they slide side to side, and they also swivel. They're really smooth and they operate nicely. Pair that with that large sled that you can store all your gear in. It makes a really great sled. It pulls easy. I pulled it probably about, I'd say about a half mile to get out here today, and it pulled just fine without any problems. It's got a pivot mechanism. You can see that right there. It's based off of a four-pole system, like a lot of these are, and as the mechanism goes up and down, these slide as well. One thing I really like this over some of the other brands of ice shanties is the ability to retract by just pushing that lever. There's no pins to mess with. It snaps into place. It does kind of make it easy to overextend and pull it out, but it does clip into place pretty well too. One thing I was kind of surprised by on this shanty, I assumed that they all were a quilted fabric, so we just picked one up from the local store without checking it too closely, and this one is not insulated. So you want to make sure that if you're insulated, you want to make sure that if an insulated shanty is important to you, that you read your box carefully and that you get one that's indeed a Nanook insulated ice shelter. Otherwise, like this one, it's just plain fabric. But the fabric does seem to be really high quality. I believe it'll last for years. And if it's not super frigid, that insulation actually isn't that much of an asset. To be honest, it can actually be a little bit of a hindrance because it can absorb the condensation. So you have to dry it out after you fish with it every time. For this one, you probably don't have near as much to worry about with that. All right, let's punch some holes and see if we can catch some fish. All right, so that was my super quick review of this ice shelter. It seems to be well made. It's very well engineered. It was a pain to put together. When you buy it and you go to assemble it, make sure you square away, I'd say at least an afternoon to assemble it. And you're going to want a second person. A lot of these parts that went together were kind of tricky to get together, and it did really help to have a second person helping you assemble it. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. I would give it at least a 4 out of 5 stars. At this price point that we paid for it, it was I think 400 and some bucks, something like that. That we got it on a clearance sale at a local store. You can pick them up on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. This is a really good value. It's a really well engineered product, and I can't attest to the durability of it, but it's a high quality fabric. I can't see that having an issue into the future. The poles, they're lightweight, they're aluminum. That helps with the weight. Again, that could possibly be an issue with them bending or being not quite as strong as steel, but yet again, it's I think it's adequate. Yeah, the only downside I do find to the shelter is it was complicated to put together. It was a little bit more assembly than what I was thinking. The biggest upside, I would have to say, are these seats. They are absolutely amazing. They fold flat. Here, I'll show you that. You push them forward, they fold flat for storage, and then they click back into place, and they're a nice rigid seat, and they're comfortable to sit in. And it's a little bit big for a one-person ice shanty, and it's a little bit crowded in here with 2 people, but it's doable for 2 people. I don't know if you can see the floor space here. You have plenty of room to drill a couple holes, put a heater in, and move around a little bit. It's not the world's biggest ice shanty, but I wanted something that was portable via manpower instead of having to tow it behind a sled. I think it weighs in the neighborhood of about 80 pounds. So yeah, it's big enough to get the job done that I need it to do, but it's not so big that it adds weight. As always, there's a trade-off between the weight of something and the mobility of it, or the capability and the mobility of something. The bigger it is, the less mobile it's going to be. The more capable of a shanty it is, the less mobile it's going to be. So you always have that trade-off, and I think this one strikes a really nice balance between keeping the weight down and keeping the capabilities up. If you guys like this review, please thumbs up this video, like and share it. Also, you can subscribe to get more content like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.